Yo, what's up, everybody? Chris here from Esports News Access Rotation. However, the flip you know me on these interwebs. And today I'm going to be bringing you guys a quick preview of what to expect going into week 3 of stage 3 of the CDL, going into Major 3, hosted by the Miami Heretics in Boca Raton, Florida. Now, after getting that out the way, let's get into the predictions. If you guys haven't, be sure to follow me on Twitch, here, TikTok, etc. for watch parties this weekend for the CDL matches, and join the Discord to join the community, talk to some cool people, and maybe get some prize picks if I give them out. I don't think I will, just because online's been chalked. But yeah, for the major, I'll be doing them. So join the server if you're interested in COD prize picks. I win a lot, and especially online, I win a lot. So be sure to check it out, and hope you guys enjoy the rest of this video. Just want to give a quick plug to all the socials because you guys have been showing a lot of love. So without further ado, let's hop into things. We had the Miami Heretics taking on the Toronto Ultra to kick things off. So looking at this matchup, I think we'll have a really good one on our hands here. Both of these teams have looked really good online thus far. Ultra has had some questionable online issues. Of course, the forfeit to Boston showcased that, and the subsequent information that came out via Twitter from Joe Thieves and other players chimed in. So this is where we found out that the players are experiencing the same online issues that we are as players, just playing every day. So interesting thing to note. That's why I'm favoring the Miami Heretics ever so slightly in this one. Both teams have looked phenomenal, but with the online cheese being so ever present, I do slightly favor Miami here. And I feel like their form has just been honestly the best in the league thus far. So looking at our next series, we have Cloud9 New York taking on the Boston Breach. And I'm expecting the Boston Breach to get this one done in 5. I think the Boston Breach, their teamwork and their cohesion has looked phenomenal this year. And I feel like they're just a slight step ahead of this Cloud9 team. Even though, as you guys can see, Cloud9 have owned this matchup, I feel like the Boston Breach get their get back here and change the polarity. It looks like there's just something online that Cloud9 is able to really exploit in this matchup. But I think Boston's a different team. I really do. So I'm going against the stats here. I'm going to say Boston Breach 3-2. I think they're a much improved team. And I feel like based on the last time that they faced off, these are two totally different teams. Now, in our last series of Friday, we have the Battle of LA. The LA Thieves taking on their little bros, the LA Gorillas. I think it'll be a 3-0. I think the LA Thieves farm some Gorilla points. Regardless of how lopsided this series actually is in reality, I think the LA Thieves will put another notch on their side to help them, if not finally get this to even, get it a little bit closer to even. So in our next series, we have Cloud9 New York taking on the Vancouver Surge. And despite the fact that I talked a lot about Vancouver and Toronto's online issues being, of course, teams playing out of Canada, I have seen considerable improvements from the spectating perspective of watching both teams. Although we have had some very questionable moments like 0-4 freezing on the map and just seeing the Vancouver boys lag, I do favor them in the series. They were able to beat some very formidable teams throughout the stage already. So I've seen enough to say that they would beat a team like Cloud9 if all things go according to plan and Cloud9 don't just play up and surprise us. So in our next series, we have the Minnesota Rokkr take on the Miami Heretics. And honestly, I'm kind of spooked. Each time I predict a team to go 2-0 on the weekend, they don't. And each time I predict a team to go 1-1, weird things happen. They either go 2-0 or they go 0-2. So I'm predicting Miami to go 1-1 here. I think Rokkr get it done in the game 5. It's the only way for them to get it done at this point. They've had 4 series, and all 4 of them have gone to game 5, round 11. So I don't see that game 5 trend stopping here, which is why I have it as a 3-2 for the Minnesota Rokkr. Community thinks Heretics, but I think Rokkr. Now, in our next series, we have the LAG taking on Toronto Ultra. And I think the Los Angeles Gorillas mates boys, while they've been trying really hard and they've been putting up a valiant effort, I don't think it'll be enough to beat a team like Ultra, who is looking so hot and who will want to really look great going into their hosted champs, right? So I think Ultra will just be trying to cook for the back half of the year because their home event is champs. So yeah, I think they're going to be game planning for that for the next couple months and just trying to look as good as possible because who wants to lose at home, right? Optic, they had the home crowd cheese last year and they won a ring. So Toronto's an org that's never won a ring. They've been to 2 champs finals and they are 0 for 2. And they've only won 3 maps total, right? 2 maps, 5-0, 5-2, 2 maps. So yeah, they're looking up the score. Ops keep up in the score every time they see them in the grand finals. They're like Toronto Ultra, free dub. So yeah, next series, speaking of a team that farmed Toronto Ultra for a ring in the grand finals, Atlanta Faze will be taking on the Vegas Falcons to close out Saturday. I think Faze get a 3-2 victory here. I think the Falcons, their hardpoint has looked phenomenal. I think they will be game planning to take this hardpoint off of Faze, and I think Faze will rebound. I think they'll split the hardpoints. I think Faze take the control, and I think Falcons probably take an S&D. If not, then Faze probably just take the opening hardpoint because it'll probably be Vegas's pick. It'll probably be like a Vault or a Skyline or something that like gives Vegas a really decent chance, but is also one of Faze's best hardpoints. Then S&D is going to be Faze's pick. So is the control. It could be a 3-0, but I think Vegas take a map somewhere. And then I think they take another. So looking at our next series, we have the Vegas Falcons take on the Boston Breach. And this is a color-coded game to kick off Sunday. How fun. So I'm thinking that the Vegas Falcons actually get a series dub here. Even though I rated the Boston Breach very highly, I rate the Vegas Falcons just a little bit higher right now. I like what I've seen from them in their S&D. And I also like what I've seen from them in Hardpoint. So I expect them to continue looking strong in hardpoint. Picking up Arcitys has really helped that team a lot. You can see, and also Priest has been playing really well. So with Pred and Exon being so like in sync and just being like such big energy guys, I feel like this team will just keep frying, honestly. So that's why I have them taking down Boston Breach on Sunday. And then in our next series, we have Faze taking on Optic in an age-old battle. The story's old as time. Yeah, I'm thinking that Faze win the Faptic series once again because look at the last 5. It's been a whole lot of Faze. So I think they increased their lead in the series score against Optic over the last couple of years. And I think it's done in a 3-1 fashion just because Optic has been struggling mightily online lately. And I'm not too sure that they will really overcome those struggles so easily. So that means our last match of the weekend is the debut of Dylan Rex on the Carolina Royal Ravens. And while I don't think that they beat the LA Thieves, I think they surprised the community. I think Dylan Rex, like Gambit, is here to make a name for himself. And I think that the LA Thieves get it done in 5, but I think Dylan Rex will absolutely stake his claim as one of the players to watch going into Major 3. And I think he'll pull a Neptune. I really do. He's been frying in challengers. He has not been a pro since 2019 when he was on Mazer, when I first started covering Call of Duty and Black Ops 4. And I think he'll be trying to really make a name for himself, like I said. Not to sound too corny, but yeah, I think he'll be trying to really impress. So I think that the Ravens, with this new team, I think they'll look a lot better. We have only one matchup from them this weekend, so not a big sample set going into the Major. But I think they'll look much improved, and I think they'll turn some heads. So yeah, guys, that'll just about wrap it up for me. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to, of course, subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Twitch if you haven't already, or TikTok, whichever you prefer. And yeah, be sure to come back for more coverage. I'll be covering the HCS tournament coming up this weekend. I'll give you guys a preview of what to expect going into that. And yeah, I got a lot of content coming out. I'll also be posting the history of COD on my other channel, Axis Rotation. So I'm going to be starting that channel and the journey there. So be sure to stay tuned for that. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed it, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe like I said before, or share it with a friend who might find it interesting or useful. And yeah, I'm going to lock these picks in, and I will see you guys later this week for a preview of the HCS tournament in, of course, Dallas, Texas, or Allen, Texas, one of the two. And yeah, see you guys there. Hope you have a great morning, noon, or night, like I said before, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Once again, this is Chris from Esports News or X Rotation. I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace.